Moromai, good morning and greetings on our National Day. The first thing I should say, of course, is congratulations to Keir Starmer and the Labour Party, and to say that the Isle of Man government looks forward to working with them and building strong, mutually strong relationships now over the coming next 5 years.
But in terms of the impact this could have in terms of for government, what exactly could that impact be?
Well, we have a very neutral attitude. We will work with the British government consistently to achieve the best outcomes for both nations, whether that's on the economic front, whether that's on the social front. We work incredibly closely together in a number of areas. Of course, we've got health agreements. A lot of our youngsters are educated in the United Kingdom at university. We spend a lot of money across on UK shores, and we have a strong trading relationship as well. So there's a lot at stake, and it's important that we have good working relations. And one of our first jobs, of course, will be to get to know the relevant ministers, the new Justice Minister, anybody else appointed with interests that may have relevance to us, and we will build those relationships, and we will look to ensure that everybody has a good mutual understanding of both parties or both countries' requirements, and we will seek to build on that, and I hope we will have strong working relationships. And we've had good relationships indeed over the last decade or so with the Conservatives, and I very much hope those will continue now with Labour.
Well, you mentioned the strength of those relationships there. Does having a change in the governing party in the UK, do you think that will have an impact on your government going forward, particularly sort of mid-term for yourselves?
Well, I hope not. I mean, actually, this is the fourth prime minister that's been in power since I've had my opportunity as chief minister. So the last 3 years, this is our fourth prime minister. Each one brings a slightly different tone. I hope that relationships will continue to remain consistently strong with the United Kingdom. As I said, I mean, there's always a period of settling in, of people bedding in, new ministers trying to get on top of their brief. There undoubtedly will be people in senior positions who don't and won't know a lot about the Isle of Man and our position and our contribution and relationship with the UK economy. So there will be quite a bit to do in the next 12 months. But I hope it'll be a smooth transition from our perspective. There are a few pressures around. We've got international tax changes coming forward. We're looking at changes around beneficial ownership, some of the technicalities. But putting those aside, the key role for me and for others will be to explain our positioning, explain the economic relationship between the United Kingdom and the Isle of Man, and obviously continue to promote our case as strong partners, part of the British family, particularly when we're looking at new international trade agreements and representations that take us further beyond these shores.
Now, the Isle of Man has very close links with the other Celtic nations. So what do you make of the fact that it's been a really, really bad night for the SNPs?
Well, again, I mean, it's not really for me to comment on other political parties in the UK. I mean, obviously, my focus, the government's focus, is on ensuring that the Isle of Man is properly represented, and we build relationships, as I say, with whoever's in power. So, for us now, it's clear that Labour in Scotland is very much the dominant force. We, of course, retain close links with political parties across the spectrum, and we try and maintain those relationships because it is important. There is a widespread understanding of the Isle of Man's positioning and role, and of course there is a lot of respect in the devolved administrations, mutual respect for what the Isle of Man has done, but also for what is being achieved in Scotland and Wales in particular. So we will continue to build relationships, and obviously I've met a few of these MPs and Scottish National Party MPs who've lost their seats, and my heart goes out to them. I know it's always a tough night for people when they are trying to win their constituencies over and don't succeed. But we will build relationships, obviously with the main parties, but we won't ignore or set aside those relationships with other parties, because often things change, and we need to make sure that we're properly representing ourselves across the political spectrum.
Well, Chief Minister, it does seem really quite strange on our National Day to be focusing so much on UK politics. So we are really grateful for you coming on to join us to give your reaction from an Isle of Man perspective. Obviously, a sort of huge story from overnight across the water there. So let's just turn our attention back to the Isle of Man. Tynwald Day. You've been there many times now over the years, for several years as Treasury Minister, and it's your third time as Chief Minister of the Isle of Man. So are you looking forward to events today?
Yeah, always. It's a very special time. I think it's a time when we reflect and celebrate, I suppose, our uniqueness as an island, all that's good, all the values that we hold dear, and of course, remember that holding on to our sort of self-governing independence is very much part of our history, our heritage, and we've had 1,000 years plus now of home rule effectively, and we must treasure that and continue to treasure it, and Tynwald Day really does signify that and puts those values, puts that governance really firmly in mind, and for all of us, across the nation really, I think it's a celebration of those values and the fact that we do have this special ability to govern ourselves and remain autonomous, and we should celebrate that, treasure that. And of course, within the ceremony, we obviously have all the history behind that. So yes, it is a very special day and will remain so.
Thank you for making it to the end of the Manx Radio newscast. You are obviously someone with exquisite taste. May I politely suggest you might want to subscribe to this and a wide range of Manx Radio podcasts at your favourite podcast provider, so our best bits will magically appear on your smartphone. Thank you.